Have you ever brushed your fingers against a man's skin and felt him stop breathing for a heartbeat? That stillness, the one that feels like time itself forgot to move, has meaning. It is not coincidence, and it is not just chemistry. It is communication, silent but powerful, between two nervous systems speaking a language older than words. Something inside him shifts, even if he does not understand why. That small electric pause tells you that touch, when done with awareness, has the power to reach where words never could. Before we dive in, let us know in the comments where you are watching from. We would love to see how far this conversation is reaching. Here is the truth most people never learn. What stirs a man's desire, what truly unravels his control, is rarely about beauty or perfection. It is not the lipstick, the perfume, or the curves. It is presence. It is the quiet confidence in a touch that feels intentional, not accidental. And in that presence lies an invisible force. 3 kinds of touch that bypass logic and go straight into the part of him that craves connection more than pleasure. For years, I believed attraction was built on intensity, on heat, on chemistry that burned fast and bright. But over time I learned something far more profound. What disarms a man is not wild desire. It is unexpected gentleness. It is when you reach out, without trying to impress, and give him a moment of peace he did not know he needed. Because men, no matter how confident or bold, live inside constant noise. They are trained to control everything, their anger, their emotions, even their longing. When a woman touches him with stillness, without performance, that armor begins to fall. It begins with a kind of touch I call grounding, the moment where you silently tell him, "You can stop performing now. You can just be here. Imagine this. You are sitting together, maybe talking about his day, maybe saying nothing at all. You reach up and let your hand rest gently just above his chest, between the collarbone and the shoulder. Firm enough to feel real, soft enough to feel safe. You do not squeeze. You do not caress. You simply rest there. Something happens in that silence. His breathing slows. The muscles around his jaw begin to relax. His eyes search yours, not with hunger, but with recognition. Because nobody touches him there. Not in affection, not in friendship. That space, just below the edge of armor and just above the heart, is where strength meets vulnerability. When you place your hand there, you are not saying, "I want you." You are saying, "I see you," and that changes everything. You see, the human body responds to safety before it responds to desire. When you touch him with calm intention, you tell his nervous system, "You are safe here." The tension melts. His guard lowers, and in that moment, something ancient inside him remembers what trust feels like. The most powerful thing you can ever give a man is not excitement, it is relief. Relief from pretending to be unshakable. Relief from having to be in control. So the next time you notice him talking about something serious or caught in thought, do not fill the silence with advice or reassurance. Just reach out. Let your touch speak first. Feel the pause that follows. That quiet space between 2 heartbeats. That is where connection lives. But grounding is only the beginning. Because once you have quieted the noise, you can awaken the current beneath it. There is a second kind of touch that does not calm, it stirs. It is not meant to anchor him. It is meant to awaken his senses without him realizing it is happening. This touch does not happen in bed or under candlelight. It happens in the ordinary, while walking beside him, while reaching for something, while laughing together. It is the kind of contact that lingers for just one moment too long. Your fingers brush against his wrist, or your arm grazes his. Nothing dramatic, nothing deliberate, but something inside him flickers. That is because this touch carries contrast. It comes and goes, hovers and withdraws. The movement is slow enough to be noticed, but soft enough to make him question whether it even happened. His brain cannot categorize it. Was it accidental? Was it intentional? And that confusion becomes fascination. Men, whether they admit it or not, crave anticipation. Desire does not come from what happens. It comes from what almost happens. When you trace his forearm lightly, or let your hand drift near his jaw for just a heartbeat, his body prepares for more that never comes. That incomplete circuit floods his mind with dopamine, the same chemical that fuels curiosity and longing. Later, when he is alone, that single brush of contact will replay like a whisper. He will not remember your perfume, or even your words. He will remember how that moment felt suspended between certainty and mystery. But here is where most people go wrong. They think this kind of touch is about teasing. It is not. It is about pacing. It is about saying, I enjoy this moment, instead of, I am trying to reach the next one. That difference is everything. Because men feel the energy behind your touch. They know when you are being performative and when you are fully present. Presence is magnetic. It is unpredictable. It makes him pay attention in ways he cannot explain. So when you move slowly, when your hand drifts, pauses, then pulls away, you create a rhythm his body begins to chase. His eyes start following your gestures. His breathing changes. His awareness narrows until there is only you and the moment between you. You are no longer chasing attention. You are commanding it effortlessly. And then there is the final kind of touch, the one that does not excite or ground, but dissolves the last layer of control he holds. It is quiet, deep, almost invisible. It is where trust turns into surrender. Every man has a pulse point that betrays what he tries to hide. The soft rhythm at his wrist, the beat at his neck, the warmth just below his ear. When you draw near enough to feel it, not touching, just hovering close enough that your breath or energy brushes the skin, something remarkable happens. His heartbeat begins to sync with yours. His breath matches your rhythm. This is not magic. It is biology. The nervous system instinctively aligns with what feels safe. In that synchronization, he stops performing desire and begins to feel it. He stops thinking about what to do next. He stops chasing and simply experiences. The space between your skin and his becomes charged not with lust, but with awareness. You are not taking from him. You are giving him permission to let go. There is a silence that comes with this kind of touch. It is not awkward. It is sacred. The pause between two breaths, the stillness before your hand fully lands on his chest, the fraction of a second before he exhales, those are the moments his body remembers long after he forgets everything else. When you finally rest your hand over his heart, let it stay. Do not rush to move. Do not speak. Feel the rhythm beneath your palm, the warmth that rises with every breath. That is not desire. That is connection. The kind that makes a man remember you, even when months have passed. Because you did not just touch his skin. You met his essence. What most people never understand is that these moments are not about technique. They are about intention. You cannot fake presence. You cannot mimic care. You must mean it. When you touch a man from a place of peace rather than need, from curiosity rather than control, everything changes. He stops reacting. He starts responding. His body begins to trust yours. His emotions begin to unfold, and suddenly, you are no longer someone he is simply attracted to. You become the calm in his chaos, the rhythm in his storm, the place his body recognizes as safety. When you reach that point, he does not just desire you, he remembers you. His heartbeat remembers you, because here is the truth. What men fall for is not beauty. It is how they feel when they are around you. The grounding touch gives him space to breathe. The drifting touch makes him feel alive. The pulse touch makes him feel connected. Together they create something unforgettable, peace, playfulness, and presence. But perhaps the most beautiful part of all this is what it does to you. When you learn to move with intention instead of insecurity, you rediscover your own power. You begin to feel your softness as strength. You stop trying to prove your worth and start embodying it. You stop performing femininity and start living it. That kind of confidence is quiet but undeniable. It says, I know who I am and I know what I bring into every moment. And that is what men never forget. Not the outfit, not the makeup, but the feeling of being seen and safe at the same time. The way your stillness makes him breathe differently. The way your touch reminds him he can stop pretending. Every woman can look beautiful, but very few can make a man's nervous system remember her. You can, not by trying harder, but by being more present. By letting your touch linger, your silence speak, and your energy flow without demand. Connection is not built in effort, it is born in awareness. So here is your challenge. The next time you are close to someone, slow down. Feel the air between you. Let your hand find him not with pressure but with curiosity. Touch him like you are discovering something new, not proving something known. Watch how his body reacts. Notice the subtle pause, the shift in his gaze, the way his breath deepens without words. That is surrender. Not the kind that gives up power, but the kind that creates it. Because the truth is, the most powerful touch is never the one that makes him want you. It is the one that makes him remember who he is when he is with you. It is the one that allows him to exhale, to soften, to trust,